All right. I trust that you are doing very well. Let me just reduce this a little bit. I trust that you are doing very well. Welcome to our afternoon conversation where we talk about personal development leadership. And it's truly my desire that this year you are going to achieve some of the goals that you have really planned out for yourselves. And I've come also to realize that when it comes to goal achieving, it's also all about, it's all about, let me put it differently. It's all about looking also inwardly to assess how capacitated you are. Because ultimately, if you are going to achieve your goals, if you're going to achieve your vision and your dreams, what is going to enable you and empower you to achieve some of those goals depends on your, it depends on your internal state. So today I want to talk about a very, very important subject, which I believe has the power to incapacitate you and take away the strength and the abilities that you need for you to be able to achieve your goals and your dreams. And that subject is the subject of shame. So if you are visiting me for the very first time, maybe you're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, I say welcome. I'm streaming on almost all these platforms today, and I may not get a chance to interact with you. But if you find this information I'm about to share helpful and useful, just make sure that you like, you share as well, and you leave a comment and perhaps suggest a topic that you'd like us to discuss going forward. And if you've missed some of the conversation topics that I've shared, yesterday I spoke about shame. Just go through all these platforms and go and glean on some of the things that I've shared already. But let's go back to shame for today, because I truly want to make sure that I share as much information as possible, but also be more succinct so that I don't waste much of your time. I believe that each one of us, even as I spoke about it yesterday, we will go through some challenges that may result in failure. So none of us have a path that is guaranteed that what is in front of us is just success. And none of us, I think, have also a perfect upbringing. But whichever way, whether you find yourself in a place where you have failed, or you find yourself in a position where you had a horrible upbringing that has affected you today, there's still something that you can do to change your life and make sure that whatever you have gone through and whatever you're going to face serves a purpose and empowers you to achieve some of the goals that you have set out for yourself. I believe that when it comes to life, there is nothing wrong in you making mistakes. There's also nothing wrong in you acknowledging that you have made mistakes. So this linked to the idea of what shame is all about. What is shame is all about? What do you mean when you're talking about shame, and how to navigate through shame and how to overcome shame? There is a difference between you being remorseful because you've made a mistake and you being sorry because you have done something that is very wrong. And hopefully that when you acknowledge that you are going to make adjustment so that you don't repeat the same mistake. But really what makes this situation very difficult is and very wrong and not right on a personal development level is when you have made the mistake. And after you have made the mistake, you have passed the place and the stage of being remorseful and of you regretting, but you have labeled yourself and you have named yourself after the mistake. What do I mean? You have failed. Instead of you reflecting on your failures, you begin to label yourself as a failure. So what happens is that you begin to see yourself in the light of the things that you have failed to achieve. So you begin to call yourself as a failure, and it passes beyond just the experience. It becomes something that is your identity, and that's where shame is. So shame lies lies where we begin to label ourselves. We begin to see ourselves as our mistakes. You see yourself as a failure. You see yourself as a horrible father, as a horrible mother, because there's something that you did wrong to your child. And then going forward, because of what you did, you begin to label yourself as such. And in that, from that point of view, because your identity has been changed, your identity has been affected, your perception of yourself has been affected. And at that point, what you are dealing with is shame. So shame is when we label ourselves according to our experiences that are negative, and we begin to see ourselves that way. That's when we begin to that's when shame kicks in. So what are some of the challenges that you are going to face when you are dealing with failures with shame? How is shame going to affect your ability to achieve your goals, your ability to become everything that you have envisioned yourself to be? Because failure affects your identity. It affects who you are at the core of your being. It means that you're going to be incapacitated in such a way that you're not going to have the courage and the boldness to pursue your goals and your vision. Because remember, whatever you get whatever you decide and whatever you embark on as what you want to achieve in life, it all comes down to the state in which you are in. If your identity has been affected because of shame, chances are that you are going to also not have the courage, the ability and the resilience that is needed for you to achieve your goals. Point number 2 as well, failure also impacts your self-worth. We can call this as your deserve level. So you go out there and you are going to settle for less than what you deserve because your self-worth has been affected. You will set your goals according to your self-worth, according to your deserve level. You will stick in relationships according to your deserve level. If your deserve level is very low, your self-worth is very low. Also, you're going to settle for far less than what you deserve. And the issue is that there is a level of shame that you are also dealing with. One of the things also that shame does to us is that there is a certain level of anger, resentment, and self-rejection that also we deal with inwardly. It may not be seen outwardly, but it's something within us where you begin to feel like the world is against you, everyone is against you, you hate yourself, you don't see yourself as somebody who's worthy, as somebody who deserves the best, because there is a level of shame that you are dealing with. And remember, as I said from the beginning, if you're joining us just now, that shame comes from what you did or from what happened to you and how you interpreted what you did or what happened to you. For instance, if somebody mistreated you or abused you in whichever form, you can look at what they did to you as something that indicates and points to who you are and to your self-worth. So if your interpretation is negative, you look at yourself that the reason why I was abused is because I'm nothing. Because if I was something, nobody would have abused me. So you carry forward that level of interpretation and perception of yourself into everything that you do. And at that point, what you're dealing with is shame because of what happened to you or because of what you did to yourself. So let's go back. What else? What are the impact of shame? Shame also might lead you to a place where because there is a sense of worthlessness that you are entertaining, it can also lead you to substance abuse. Partly this is why people get addicted to certain things, certain drugs. Why? Because there is a sense of self-worthlessness that they are experiencing because of shame, and as a result of that they get addicted to something and they end up destroying their own lives. Because when you are dealing with shame and it has brought about a sense of worthlessness, what follows is that you're going to indulge yourself in activities that will ultimately destroy your life. And at the core of that is because you are dealing with a sense of shame. So not until you deal with a sense of shame or whatever that's brought shame into your life, you are not going to have the courage to face the world. You're not going to have the confidence that you deserve better and that you deserve to achieve incredible success in life. Not until you deal with that shame, you are not also going to get to the place where, in fact, the other aspect of shame where it affects us also is in relationship, because you are holding on to maybe something that happened to you or to what you did. So every time you are with someone in a relationship, you're always thinking, what if they find out? If I tell them, will they accept me? Will they leave? So what happens, the process of entertaining and thinking that way, you are also affecting, because really intimacy and relationship grows as we open up, as we show as we show one another who we are at the core of our being, and we say, whether I'm rejected or I'm accepted, this is the person I am. So that when a person is with you, they have accepted all of you, the mistakes that you have made. They have accepted also the things that have happened to you. But when you are dealing with shame, you are withholding opening up, because you are worried that when you open up, somebody is going to reject you. But the idea that there's something that you are holding on and holding from somebody that you are with also impacts you greatly, because it hinders your relationship from growing, from maturing. And let me not even go into detail, but these are some of the things that shame tend to bring in our lives. Perhaps today you are saying, what can I do then, Kelvin, if I'm dealing with shame? There's something that happened to me, or there's something that I did, and this has really been affected my perception of myself, and I see myself as a failure. I've labeled myself as somebody who's worthless, as somebody who's useless because of what I've done. Point number one is that you have to get to the place where you stop punishing you, and you stop hating yourself because of what you have done. Because self-hatred, punishing yourself, is not going to change the situation or what happened to you. Rather, what you need to be doing is that in the process of you stopping punishing yourself, hating yourself, is that you have to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, forgive what you did, and let go. And if there are individuals that also abused you and it has affected you, and you have carried this shame because of what happened to you, also you have to get to the place where you forgive those individuals. You let go. Because if you don't let go, this is going to be your reality, is that you are going to always be dealing with this sense of shame, and you're not going to live to the fullest of your potential. So punishing yourself or punishing those individuals that did something very bad to you is not going to set you free. You have to get to the place where you forgive yourself, you let go. And also what you have to understand, that the mistreatment that you receive from other people is not an indication that you are not a person of value, or that you are not worth the respect and the dignity they took away from you. It's just a reflection of the individual's characters, the individuals that mistreated you. So what we go through, how people treat us, is not a reflection of who we are. It's a reflection of who they are and their character. So learn to forgive and learn to let go. The other thing that I can also say is that you have to learn to reframe. Because when you are dealing with shame, there is a belief system that has been established that you are worthless, you are a failure, you're not going to amount to anything, and that you never get things done, and that you are always whatever you have called yourself to be. Those are the thoughts and those are the belief systems that you have established. To reframe, what it means is that you also, part of reframing is questioning those thoughts. Are those true? Are those belief systems true? Are you truly a failure? How about other areas where you have done so well? You might have made a mistake in one particular area, but I'm sure you have made very wise decisions in other areas. So you cannot really define who you are based on one incident, based on one poor decision that you made. You cannot define yourself. So you begin to question your belief system. You begin to question your thoughts, because there are other areas in your life where you have actually made wise decisions, where you have actually succeeded, although you have failed in other areas. So if a thought comes to you and cements itself and reminds you of the things that you did, and brings you to a place where you begin to see yourself as a failure, question that thought. Remind yourself to say, but wait a minute, yes, I failed in this way, but it can't be that I failed in every aspect of my life. Point yourself to the very thing in your life where you have done extremely well, because that way what you are doing, that you are shifting your mind, and also you have started to reject the identity that you have accepted, which shame has brought on you. Remember, as somebody said, that we are not our mistakes, we are not our failures, we are not the things that happened to us or the things that people did to us. We can choose still to pick up the pieces and say, moving forward, I'm going to make better decision. Moving forward, I'm going to be a better person. Yes, this is part of my life. Yes, this happened, but I'm not going to let this define me. The other point that is also found helpful also to myself is that you have to make sure that as you reflect on what you did or what happened to you, is that you also have to draw the lessons from that. When you draw the lessons from that, also find ways and means how you can use those lessons to your advantage going forward, so that you are able to make informed decisions. But above that, there'll always be somebody behind us about to make the same mistake that we have made. There'll always be somebody behind us who have just gotten into the same situation that we have gotten ourselves into. There'll also always be somebody who is just out of the same situation that we once found ourselves in. What you can do is that you can use your experience to serve a purpose that is greater than what you have gone through, because you have experienced all this. You have gathered the lessons to heal and get rid of the shame that you might have experienced or you are dealing with. You have to get up on your feet, look ahead, and find individuals that you can advise, you can coach, you can work with, so that they don't get themselves and find themselves in the same situation that you were once in. And if at all you find somebody who is in the same situation that you were once in, withholding the truth, withholding the wisdom, withholding the experience doesn't make you smart. It actually cements the shame in the inside of you. But what you can do for yourself is to share the lessons, share the experience, because as you do so, you are liberating the other person, you are liberating yourself. Because actually the power of shame is in its secrets. The more you hold on in secret, the more you fear to share your experiences, the more you cement and ground yourself in shame. The last point that I want to mention as well is that as you are trying to overcome shame and whatever's happened in your life, I want to also recommend that you also seek professional help, because what I'm trying to do here with you is just something that is very summarized. Maybe your experience needs a specific intervention. So seek the help of professionals, either coaches, therapists. But I also, as a pastor and as a coach, I've also found that from a coaching point of view, I can bring about solution, but also I've come also to believe that also from a spiritual point of view, there is a way that also we can deal with shame. So you can seek both intervention from coaches, from therapists, but also be free to seek intervention also from a spiritual point of view, so that you can be liberated from all your shame that you've been carrying all along. I hope this has been helpful, and remember, my wish for you is that I want you to be the best that you can. I want you to achieve all your dreams that you have set out for yourself this year. And if you do need some help from me, feel free to inbox me, feel free to contact me, so that we can come up with some ways to try and help you overcome some of the things that are hindering you from becoming the best version of yourself. Enjoy the rest of the day. That's it from me, Kelvin Amwanza, for today, and I will see you again tomorrow. God bless you. Bye-bye.